Aspire to a clean career, leaving no shame for descendants. Hello everyone. Welcome to Encountering Chinese, Case Stories, Cases Judged by Bao Gong. Today, I'm going to tell you two short stories. The first story is titled Inequality in Lifespan. In the underworld, there is a position known as the Life Registrar. These officials are responsible for recording the lifespan of every human being. Each person has a predetermined lifespan, and the year of their death is written down. If the records show that a person's time has not yet come, even if they have already taken their last breath, they will miraculously come back to life. There is also a concept known as Inji, which can extend one's life. It means that if someone performs many good deeds while alive, extra years will be added to their lifespan. On the other hand, if someone commits many evil deeds, their life will be shortened by reducing the number of years in their record. Most people believe in this theory and firmly hold that a person's lifespan is related to the number of good deeds they performed during their lifetime. However, there are times when such beliefs may not be entirely reliable. In Shandong province, there was a man named Ran Dao. He practiced vegetarianism, frequently did good deeds, and was highly respected by those around him, earning him the title, Buddha's child. Another man, named Chen Yuan, was infamous for committing countless evil acts. He not only stole other people's property but even resorted to cannibalism. He had an infamous nickname, the Tiger Demon. Based on the theory of Inji, Chen Yuan should have had his life shortened due to his wickedness, while Ran Dao should have been granted extra years for his virtue. Yet, unexpectedly, Chen Yuan lived to be over 90 years old and remained in good health. Naturally, this angered many people, including Ran Dao himself. After his death, Ran Dao went to the underworld to file a complaint with the king of hell. He said to the king, "I am here to file a complaint about the unequal distribution of lifespans. Those who do good should live long, while evildoers should die young. You have the authority to control human lifespans, and people hold you in high regard. But now, some good people die early, while wicked people like Chen Yuan live long and healthy lives. I fear that people will believe that committing evil leads to longevity and will follow his example. Don't tell me about reincarnation and afterlife matters. Who in the world wishes to die early? To live one more day in the mortal world is better than 1,000 years in the underworld. That's why I've come to file this complaint." At the time, Bao Gong was serving as the king of hell in the underworld. After hearing Ran Dao's complaint, he asked, "Are you saying that you are dissatisfied with how the underworld handles human lifespans?" Ran Dao replied, "I wouldn't say I'm dissatisfied, but I am confident that I did many good deeds while alive, and by right, I should have lived longer. I worry that there may have been a mistake in the records, and perhaps I wasn't supposed to die so early." Bao Gong said, "Ghost officials don't make mistakes as easily as humans. Every person's good and evil deeds are clearly recorded. Lifespan records are of utmost importance and are never wrong. Guards, summon the Department of Virtue and Evil, as well as the Life Registrar, and have them carefully review the records again. Not long after, the ghostly officers reported back, saying, "Upon closer inspection, Ran Dao is a person who speaks well but has a wicked heart." Bao Gong sighed and said, "I see now." He then addressed Ran Dao, saying, "If a person is alive but their heart is not good, it is useless to proclaim daily that they do not kill or eat meat. Sometimes, in the mortal realm, it is those who are vegetarians who commit the most wicked deeds. Though they may abstain from meat, they secretly engage in activities such as robbery or causing harm to others. As the ancients said, a Buddha's mouth, a snake's heart," referring to such people. Individuals like you may deceive those who do not know you, but here you cannot escape. Your crimes are even worse than those of ordinary evildoers. Do you have any objections to this judgment?" Ran Dao replied, "I admit that I am guilty, but why does someone as evil as Chen Yuan get to live such a long and healthy life?" So, Bao Gong ordered the ghostly officers to bring Chen Yuan in for questioning. When Chen Yuan arrived, Bao Gong said, "There's no need to question Chen Yuan. We just need to review his records in the lifespan book." Soon after, the ghostly officers reported back, saying, "His records also show no errors." Bao Gong, puzzled, asked, "How can this evil person's records allow him to live in good health?" The ghostly officer replied, "This has to do with his family. Chen Yuan's family has been known for 3 generations as great benefactors." Bao Gong said, "So that's how it is. According to the rules of the underworld, if one generation accumulates virtue, their descendants will also receive protection, especially since Chen Yuan's family has been virtuous for 3 generations. However, his evil deeds in the mortal realm will not go unpunished. Even if he lives long, he will not escape the tortures of hell after death. It's just that humans do not know this." Ultimately, Bao Gong declared, "Ran Dao, who ate vegetarian but died young, complains about Chen Yuan living long while committing evil. But good and evil are determined by actions, not mere words. Evil and good are not as clearly visible as black and white, and one cannot casually label a person as good or evil. Thus, one cannot say that vegetarians will definitely live long, nor can one say that meat-eaters will necessarily have short lives. It is true that those who accumulate virtue can protect their descendants, but speaking of Buddha while harboring malice in the heart is undoubtedly a crime. Many evil people in the world live long lives, and many resent this, but in reality, they cannot escape the more brutal punishments of the underworld. Therefore, do not harbor any illusions of luck." After this ruling, both Ran Dao and Chen Yuan left, fully convinced. The second story is titled, Soon. Once upon a time, in Jiang County of Chaozhou Prefecture, Guangdong, there was a man named Zhaoshen who was friends with another man named Zhou Yi. One day, Zhou Yi invited Zhaoshen to the capital to buy cloth. The two of them had signed a contract with a man named Zhang Chao to use his cargo ship for transport and agreed to meet on the ship at dawn the next day. Early the next morning, Zhao Shen arrived at the ship first. When Zhang Chao emerged from the cabin and saw that it was still just the fourth watch and the roads were empty, he seized the money Zhao Shen had for purchasing cloth and pushed him into the water, killing him. Zhang Chao then returned to the cabin and pretended to sleep. When morning broke, Zhou Yi also arrived and called out to the boatman. Only then did Zhang Chao lazily get up. After breakfast, Zhou Yi noticed that Zhao Shen had not yet arrived and asked Zhang Chao to go check on him. Zhang Chao went to Zhao Shen's home and knocked on the door, shouting, Madam Zhao, please open the door." After a long while, Zhao Shen's wife, Sun, finally opened the door. It turned out that Sun had gotten up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her husband, and after he ate, she went back to bed and had just woken up. Zhang Chao asked Sun, "Your husband agreed to go with Zhou Yi to take the boat, but Zhou Yi has been waiting on my ship for a long time and still hasn't seen your husband." Sun exclaimed, "My husband left home at dawn. How could he not be at the ship by now?" Zhang Chao reported this to Zhou Yi, who then went to Zhao's home to search for Zhao Shen with Sun. However, they searched for 3 days without finding him. Zhou Yi thought to himself, "Zhao Shen is a trustworthy person. He wouldn't suddenly disappear after making plans to go into business with me. Now that neither I nor his wife can find him, he must have been killed." At this thought, Zhou Yi felt a chill and immediately went to the county office to report the case, claiming that his partner was in danger and needed the magistrate to find him quickly. Zhou Yi also requested that the magistrate summon the boatman Zhang Chao, as well as Zhao Shen's neighbors Zhao Ji, Zhao Xia, and Zhao Shen's wife, Sun, to inquire about the situation. The local magistrate, Zhu Yiming, granted his request and brought these individuals to the county office for questioning. The magistrate first questioned Sun, who said, "My husband had breakfast and then left with the money for purchasing cloth. After that, I really don't know what happened." Next, the magistrate questioned Zhang Chao, who said, "A few days ago, Zhou Yi and Zhao Shen came to my place to arrange for the cargo ship. At dawn the next day, Zhou Yi came, but Zhao Shen never arrived. The dozens of other boats nearby can testify to this. Later, when Zhou Yi asked me to hurry him up, I went to look for Sun, but she was still sleeping and took a long time to open the door." Neighbors Zhao Ji and Zhao Xia also confirmed. "We heard Zhao Shen mention that he was going out to do business, and last night he even argued with Sun about it. But we don't know what happened the next day." Zhu Yiming pretended to be clever and said to Zhou Yi, "It seems that you knew Zhao Shen was carrying money to buy cloth, which made you covet the wealth and murder him, then come to the county office to confuse the situation." Zhou Yi replied, "How could I possibly kill him alone and have enough strength to bury the body? Moreover, my family is richer than Zhao Shen's, and he and I are very good friends. Why would I kill him for money?" Sun also stated, "Zhou Yi has a very good relationship with my husband. I believe he absolutely did not harm my husband. Among all the involved parties, only the boatman Zhang Chao is the most suspicious." Zhang Chao argued, There were dozens of boats anchored along the shore. How could I dare to kill someone? Wouldn't I be afraid of being seen? Besides, at that time, when Zhou arrived, I was still sleeping. He was the one who woke me up. If you don't believe me, ask him. You are very suspicious. When I came to your house to look for your husband, you took a long time to open the door and claimed you were sleeping. I suspect you killed your husband and were still dealing with everything when I arrived, which is why you pretended to sleep and didn't open the door. Zhu, the magistrate, harshly interrogated Sun, but she was a weak and delicate woman who could not withstand the brutal torture. Eventually, she said, "Since my husband is dead, I no longer wish to live. I am willing to die with him." Then she confessed. "I was worried that my husband would be in danger on his journey, so I tried to stop him. It was my husband's refusal to listen to my advice that led to his death." The magistrate asked Sun about the whereabouts of the corpse, and she replied, "Don't look for it. Just use my body as a substitute. This case can be settled." After a while, the magistrate interrogated the involved parties again and still reached the same conclusion. The following autumn, the case was reviewed again, and preparations were made to finalize the judgment regarding Sun's murder of her husband. At this time, a high-ranking official from the Dali Temple, Yang Qing, took over the case. Yang Qing was skilled in adjudicating cases and had extensive knowledge. After reviewing Sun's case file, he suddenly noticed a detail. The file stated, "The boatman Zhang Chao went to Zhao's house and shouted for Madame Zhao to open the door." This statement was enough to prove that Zhang Chao already knew Zhaoshen was not at home. Otherwise, he would have instinctively called out Zhaoshen's name first. So, Yang Qing handed the case over to Bao Gong, who was in the area conducting inspections. Upon receiving the case, Bao Gong called in the boatman Zhang Chao and asked, "You said Zhou Yi asked you to go to Zhao's house to look for Zhaoshen, but when you got to the door, you didn't call out Zhaoshen's name. Instead, you shouted for Madame Zhao to open the door. Does that mean you already knew Zhaoshen was dead and not at home, which is why you instinctively called for Sun to open the door?" Zhang Chao was taken aback by these words and fell speechless. Seeing this, Bao Gong said, "It is clear that you murdered Zhaoshen and attempted to frame his wife, Sun." Zhang Chao still refused to confess. Bao Gong ordered the guards to give him 30 lashes, but Zhang Chao remained unrepentant. Helpless, Bao Gong had no choice but to lock Zhang Chao up for the time being. Then, Bao Gong called in the sailor from Zhang Chao's boat. As soon as the sailor arrived in the main hall, Bao Gong commanded the guards to give him 40 lashes, then said to him, "Tell the truth, it was you who murdered Zhaoshen that day. Your ship owner has already confessed to me that on that early morning, you killed Zhaoshen and stole his money. Zhang Chao told me not to spare your life and insisted that I execute you immediately." The sailor, enraged and feeling betrayed for having concealed the truth for his ship owner, exclaimed, "I saw Zhaoshen that day. He arrived at the boat around the 4th watch in the morning. At that time, everyone else on the other boats was asleep, and there were no passers-by on the shore. It was Zhang Chao who threw him into the water to drown, and he gave me a lot of money to keep everything hidden. Later, Zhang Chao pretended to sleep while waiting for Zhou Yi. I saw it all and was initially planning to keep quiet, but now the ship owner wants you to kill me, and I refuse to accept it. Bao Gong then had Zhang Chao confront the sailor, who had revealed the truth. Zhang Chao was left speechless and had no choice but to confess. In the end, Zhang Chao was sentenced to death, while Sun was released. County Magistrate Zhu Yiming was also dismissed from his position for his unjust judgment. Alright. Today's case stories, Inequality in Lifespan and Soon, conclude here. If you enjoyed these stories, please like and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment and share it with others. See you next time.